All right. Well, we had this idea to talk about Avengers Endgame and our theories and our predictions, and just something fun for us to do. So this is kind of new for us, and so on and so forth. So we're just kind of looking back for a second, and as you can see, there's our dog in the background. In any case, I've got my coffee. We are set to go. Have my new Blue Yeti mic. And we're going to talk about our Avengers Endgame theories and predictions. So specifically tonight, we're going to talk about the 5 things that we want to see first, and then 5 predictions. So 5 things that we want to see and 5 predictions, and we're pretty excited about that. So ladies first. So Kendall, we're going to go from number 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So Kendall, so you're going to start us off. 5 things that you want to see in Avengers Endgame. Take it away.
Do you want me to do all 5 or go each 5, each 4, each 3?
Do you want to just do my 5, your 5, then 4, your 4, or...
Yeah, I think we should do I do 5, you do number 5.
Yeah, I think we should do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Go.
My number 5 thing that I want to see in Avengers Endgame is for Tony Stark and Pepper Potts to have a satisfying ending to their relationship.
Don't they deserve it?
Yeah, I know that a lot of people don't like Gwyneth Paltrow, but I mean, I don't really think of her when I think of Pepper Potts. I just think of the character, and it's been 11 years. I think I would be really upset if he.
And she was introduced in Iron Man, right?
Yeah.
And were they even close in Iron Man?
No,
it's been a while.
They were, flirty or whatever. But
yeah.
I just would hate to see them get engaged in Spider-Man: Homecoming, and then.
Wait, no, I thought they got engaged. Oh, it wasn't. Yeah. You're right. It was Homecoming.
And then he mentions that he dreams that they have a kid. I guess because honestly, a lot of the MCU is not really about relationships at all. I feel like no characters have really had a story arc as far as a love story, except Tony Stark. I feel like that he and Pepper Potts have made it further than anyone else when you think about it. Bruce Banner, they didn't bring back Betsy Ross, and then he and Black Widow's character, I just didn't buy it when they had it. And of course you have Wanda and Vision, but I didn't buy that either because we didn't spend as much time with those couples. But with Pepper and Tony, you've seen them so many times together, and he really loves her, and I just feel like I want to see a satisfying ending to that.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. They haven't been my favorite couple, but I think as far as couples that do deserve a send-off, I would certainly agree with that.
There is one other that's my favorite, but I feel that they have spent the most time together, so they deserve it.
Sure. Okay, my number 5 is 5 things that I want to see is the death of Thanos. So I think that we do want to see that. I mean, do you want to see that? It's not on your. I mean, something that you'd want to.
It's not on my top 5, but yeah, I guess I would like to see it, and I would like Karen Gillan's character
to take him out.
Well, to at least be there. I just feel
Nebula.
Nebula. That's
Sorry,
right.
we're not.
Nebula. I would at least like her to be there.
Yeah. So I want to see Thanos die. Okay. What is your number 4?
I would like the introduction of a new character, specifically from the Fox merger, and it doesn't have to be a main part of the storyline, but at least in the end credits. Can you imagine Storm showing up in Wakanda?
That's not.
Yes.
It would be cool, but
come on,
this early?
In the end credits, yes. Just give us something, one little thing.
I'm with you, but I think the merger just happened. I think that all of the paperwork that had to be, and remember, the merger just finished. They finished filming, I want to say, in 2016, 2017. It was all filmed simultaneously.
But it would be nothing for them after the merger to do like one end credit scene with like a seeing, or at least we don't have to see the character, but like a glimpse of something where I know what that means. You know, like
right.
Yeah,
I would like to see that too.
Yeah.
My number 4. I think this is a given. Just a major death of a character that we love, so that we can have the feels. I think gathering from the Rotten Tomatoes scores, the audience reactions, the Twitter reactions from the people that saw the not only the press screening but the world premiere. And as a matter of fact, I believe that that it's already premiered in China, just not the United States. I mean, this is the U.S. will premiere on Thursday. The night we're recording right now, and it's Wednesday evening. But a major death just for the feels, and so that we can have some sort of emotional catharsis and so on and so forth. But I mean, it's weird for me to say I want a death, but I mean, somebody's got to go. I mean, we've got to have somebody go. The stakes need to be high. They got to die. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but yeah, never mind. Let me stop. Okay.
Well, I have my own take on that, but anyway.
You don't want anybody to die? You want it all to be all happy-go-lucky?
We'll see.
Okay.
I mean, that's kind of a spoiler for our predictions coming
Okay,
up later.
okay. So that's my number 4. Okay, going to your number 3.
I want redemption for Peter Quill. I feel like a lot of people have given him backlash because honestly, a lot of it is his fault that they didn't get the gloves, so they better redeem him somehow. I mean,
yeah,
I feel bad for the guy.
I mean, you know, one of the things, and whoever has the opportunity, or if anybody's watching this, one of the things that we like to do is watch Marvel video essays, and I think I watched one recently on Peter Quill, and man, I need to look up the. Matter of fact, I'm going to look it up right now. But if you really understand Peter Quill's arc, then is that it? Is it? I think it's full fat. I was looking it up, full fat videos for video essays, and they did one on Peter Quill.
It's really good.
It's really good, and I think that that would be fine. But Peter Quill, he's not one of my favorites. So
he's my favorite.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, one of my favorites.
One of your favorites. Okay. So that was your number 3.
Yes.
Okay, so my number 3, and I think it will happen, just given from the trailers, is just failure. They understand that they failed. They don't. That there's a period in the film where all hope is lost. That way, when it gets to the very end, they have something to be cheerful for. They have hope again. So again, something that I think is going to happen. But my number 3 is that they really feel the failure in effect, especially after the snap, and everybody's gone, and they feel those effects. Okay, your number 3, getting your number 2. Now we're starting to get to the good stuff here. So go ahead.
Okay, maybe it's because maybe I'm a romantic, because this is another couple thing, and this is my favorite couple. But I need Captain America and Peggy Carter to reunite. Like, I want him to go back in time and have that dance with her. The ending of Captain America, where he's out in Times Square, and Nick Fury tells him the year, and he says, "I had a date," and then it ends.
The music. Do you guys hear that? I could almost just play the music when that happens. But
yeah, and then it
gonna be okay?
ends. It cuts out because He is. It's just devastating.
Yeah.
I had a date.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Didn't that give you the feels? I have more to say on that, and I'll bring it up because that's actually my number one. Not to spoil it, but my number two is Thor having another go at Thanos. You know, Thor comes back in an Infinity War, and many of you have probably seen on YouTube where Thor, comes back with the hammer in Infinity War and he says, "Bring me Thanos!" And then he comes out and he goes for Thanos, and
But he doesn't go for the head.
And he doesn't go for the. You should have gone for the head. So, terrible impression tonight. It's the coffee, but anyways, I want him to have another go. I want him to really give it to Thanos, defeat him, get revenge.
So,
Especially Thor lost his people. He lost his people. I mean, he needs to get revenge.
I think of all characters that have lost.
He's lost so much.
He's lost.
He needs to be the one to give the last blow to Thanos. What do you guys think? What do you think? Do you think that Thor should be the one to give the final blow to Thanos? Let us know in the comments. But I think that should be certainly the case. And what would be your number one?
This one's kind of, not as epic, I guess, but I finally want to hear Captain America say, "Avengers assemble."
What? Why?
Why? Because that's his line, and we've been waiting on that.
He's not said it before?
No, at the end of Age of Ultron, he goes to say it, he's looking... No, wait. Is it Age of Ultron?
I don't know.
No. Wait. Yes, it is Age of Ultron. It gets to the end of it, and he's looking out at, like, the new people, like Wanda and all of them, and he puts his hands on his waist, and he says, "Avengers," and then it cuts to black.
Man.
It's right on up there with hearing, with Nick Fury being undusted, and you hear "Ucker."
Sorry.
When he comes back, he has to finish saying it.
Yeah, that's funny. So that's an interesting one, and I wouldn't share it, but it's a good one. So my number, so my number one is the Cap and Peggy reunion. Let me go out on a limb and say that Captain America: The First Avenger is my favorite Marvel movie whatsoever. Again, I have a bit of a soft spot for romantic subplots, but only romantic subplots that work. Okay, I've not been a fan of Iron Man and Miss Pepper Potts. It hasn't done it for me. I was not a fan of Thor and Jane.
Like Wanda and Vision.
Peter and Gamora was...
Peter. Yeah, I do like them.
Peter and Gamora.
What about Peter Parker and MJ?
Wait, the secret MJ, the MJ that's not MJ.
Yeah.
We don't know enough yet. About that. But Cap and Peggy, she sees him before he's,
buff and
oiled up. So, pardon, we just recently watched Captain America and the Winter Soldier, and
we watched.
I mean, come on, we're making a video. It's not like first time, yeah. No, we'd have to be weird if that was the case. But I mean, come on, everybody loves Cap and Peggy. I would have rooted for Cap and Sharon in Civil War, but they didn't build her. Well, hold on.
I'm just making a noise.
Oh, okay, you're just making a noise. They didn't build her character up. It was weak. They didn't sell it to us. Why should we care about Sharon? So, yeah, I'm not going to care. So Cap and Peggy for sure. Those are the 5 things that we want to see. All right, well, welcome back to Fop Tive.
Fop Tive!
Fop Tive. I think that's what we're calling it, and unless that's a problem with you all. If you tell us it's bad, but we like it. Right? Okay. All right, so we are going to do our top 5 predictions for Avengers Endgame. Top 5 predictions, whether it's a death, whether it's someone who stays alive, whether it's a plot device or the way that something is done. So we're going to do our top 5 predictions. So
you go first this time.
Me? Yeah. Okay. So number 5 for me, and I'm sort of on the limb with this one. In Avengers Infinity War, they're gone. Part of me wants to say they stay gone. And what we're exposed to in this movie is nothing more than alternate universes, the multiverse. Not we obviously were introduced to the quantum realm with Ant-Man, the sequel, Ant-Man sequel, but part of me, and I'm probably 55% sure, so I want to say that my prediction is that there won't be time travel per se, but just alternate universes.
That is also my number 5 prediction. I actually like that a lot more. I want the multiverse. I want the characters that are gone to be gone, and we see them again because they're from an alternate universe. And maybe, I mean, I don't know if that they're going to do that, but we've seen it work in the Flash TV series. They do it pretty well. And so I think it is possible. Like, I don't think it'll be lost on the audience or it'll be too hard to do. And so that is something that I would personally like to see.
I mean, I'm not completely eliminating time travel. Please hear me out. But, okay, again, I think the strongest precedent for this prediction, at least in my eyes, is meaningful deaths. What do you think? Right. Okay. They stay dead. Okay. Number 4 for me is that Captain America does not die. He does not die. I was recently listening to the Russo brothers do an interview, and they also were interviewed in some web articles, and I was looking through some of the movies that they recommended watching. And of course, they recommended the movies that they have directed. They've done The Winter Soldier, Onward, Winter Soldier, Civil War. They certainly recommended rewatching those, and that's what we did. And they pay close attention to Steve Rogers' arc, his character arc as a whole, and where he's going as a character. We are, at this point, if you're not, then you should be emotionally invested in Steve Rogers. And I think that Steve Rogers, deep down, wants to die. I mean, if you look at the trailer, and some of the parts of the trailer, he says, I don't know if this doesn't work, I don't know what I'm going to do. You sort of get this emotional weight coming down from Steve Rogers' character. And I agree with you that he wants to die, and we've seen that in his other movies. In the first Captain America, he's ready to put his life on the line all the time. He jumps on the grenade thinking that it's a real grenade. He, when he and Bucky are in that warehouse and, he lets Bucky go first and he's like, go on without me. Like, it's almost like he knows he's about to die. And then, of course, Bucky yells, not without you. And then you see him do that awesome jump. And then in Winter Soldier, he has Maria Hill go ahead and blow up all the helicarriers, even though he's on one. It's like he has no desire to preserve his life at all sometimes. Yeah. Like, that's what it seems like, that he
And maybe it is because he's so out of time, and I mean, he's always had that good heart. I mean, just like the doctor told him, never change what's in here.
Right.
And maybe that's just always how he's been.
Yeah.
But he's always ready to make the sacrifice, even with his comment to Tony Stark in Avengers, where he says, are you the kind of guy that would lay on the wire and let guys cross over you? He's very self-sacrificial. And because of that, I don't want him to die. Because I guess he expects it. I don't want him to die. So that's actually my number 4 as well. I want him to go back in time. They can get in a hold of the time stone, and then he can have that last dance with Peggy, like in the vision that he had.
Yeah, I think so. So number 3?
Mm-hmm.
My number 3, I'm just going to keep it short. Loki stays dead.
That's so wrong.
I don't see him coming back.
He has to. He's got a TV show coming out.
It could be a prequel. I don't know how they're gonna bring him back. I think Loki stays dead. That's my number 3.
We want Loki. The people want Loki. My number 3 is that Clint / Hawkeye trains his replacement and becomes Ronin, which a lot of people say is very obvious in the trailer. He's like showing a girl how to shoot a bow and arrow, and then he has that sword, and so it looks like that is obviously going to happen, but you never know. It could just be a trick, but I want that to happen.
Yeah. My number 2, and then can we go ahead and let me go ahead and do my number 2 and number 1, because it's both about people. So, okay, so my number 2 is that Iron Man lives, because I think I expect Iron Man to die, and I don't think they're gonna kill him. My number 1 is Thor dies. Let me tell you why. He's the ruler of Asgard, and of course his people were sacrificed. But making another, I don't know, just the whole ruler, king mentality, ruler of people of Asgard, just seems that he is probably the premier candidate for a good old Marvel death.
Well, who would be left to rule Asgard?
Nobody.
Maybe Valkyrie?
No. I mean, at the end of the day, let me just confess that I have no idea who's going to die. I really think 90% because of the character arc that Cap is not going to die. But I do not know who's going to die. Mm-hmm. I really don't think Cap is. I think Iron Man is not. I just think Thor is probably the more likely candidate. So it does. You're number 2 and number 1.
Okay, my number 2 is kind of silly, but I like silly stuff. I want Rocket to meet Goose.
Wait, what? What?
You know, Rocket the raccoon meets Goose the flurkin.
I have no idea who that is. Even when you were typing that, I still didn't know what that is.
The cat from Captain Marvel? Goose? Its name is Goose.
Oh. But that cat's dead.
No, it's not. What makes you think it's dead?
I don't know.
It's not dead. I want Rocket to meet Goose. And can you imagine if Disney made that into a cartoon? Rocket and Goose? I think that would be... Rocket likes to steal things. Goose can fit anything inside his pocket dimension. Like, he can eat anything. And they would make the perfect pair. And they're the 2 animals of the MCU. So I want Rocket to meet Goose.
Okay, what's your number 1?
My number 1, and this probably isn't very popular, but I don't want anyone to die completely.
Somebody's
gotta
die.
No one dies completely. Now, what I mean by that is the characters that are dusted stay dusted, but they have alternate versions from the multiverse. And so we don't...
okay, that's a...
Yeah, like they
Okay.
die, but there's still alternate versions of them in the multiverse, so that character doesn't die completely. That's what I want. And imagine the range that the actors would have to play like an alternate version of themselves. Because, and then I want to see either in this movie or later movies, like how they deal with that. Like how do they deal, like how does Rocket Raccoon deal with a group that's not truly his group, but is his group? You know, like...
That would be a good story to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they
Sad
are...
though that the contracts are probably over, so...
Yeah.
I mean...
Because that... It's like that character still lives, but it's not really. It's not our group that we grew to love.
Yeah. Well, these are our predictions. We hope that you enjoyed this. We are just as excited as you are. We'll see if we're right tomorrow night.
You gonna introduce us?
What?
You gonna introduce? Like we didn't say our names or anything?
Oh, Tim and Kendall Morgan. All right. You have a good night, or morning, or afternoon, whenever you watch it. Whatever you watch it. Really. Thank you.